Hello guys, in this video I will start with a new topic, that is the tax invoice, credit and debit notes and other documents under GST. And this video is specially for CMA Inter. So because the content here I covered in this video will be suitably for CMA Inter. So let's get start. What is tax invoice? Under GST regime, a tax invoice means a tax invoice referred to in section 31 of CGST Act 2017. We can say that if a registered person is making or receiving supplies from unregistered persons, then a tax invoice need to be issued by such registered person. Okay, so however, if a registered person is dealing only in exempted supplies or availing composition scheme, so then such a supplier, such a registered person needs not to issue a tax invoice, and instead of that he need to issue a bill of supply. Okay, so अगर आपका कोई रजिस्टर्ड पर्सन है और वो रजिस्टर्ड है तो उसे टैक्स इनवॉइस इशू करना होगा, बट लेकिन अगर वो कोई कंपोजिशन स्कीम में है, ओके, या वो एग्जम्प्टेड सप्लाईज में डील करता है, ओके, तो उस केस में आपको बिल ऑफ सप्लाई इशू करना होगा। एंड इन दोनों के अलग अलग फॉर्मेट होते हैं। ओके, सो नाउ आई एम गोइंग फॉरवर्ड. An invoice or bill of supply need not to be issued if the value of supply is less than 200 and subject to specified conditions, provisos to subsection 3 of section 31 of CGST Act 2017. अब आपके 31 subsection 3 में कुछ conditions के साथ दिया हुआ है कि अगर कोई invoice less than 200 है, मतलब कोई भी अमाउंट आपका 200 से नीचे है, तो उस केस में आपको इन्वॉइस या बिल ऑफ सप्लाई इशू करने की ज़रूरत नहीं है। ओके, बट ये वाला पार्ट मैं आपको अभी थोड़ी देर में एक्सप्लेन करूँगी, जिसमें आपको 31 सबसेक्शन 3 की कंडीशंस मैं आपको समझाऊँगी। ओके, सो नाउ कम ओवर द नेक्स्ट एरिया, दैट इज़ इम्पोर्टेंस ऑफ टैक्स इन्वॉइस अंडर GST. So what is the importance? So under GST, a tax invoice is an essential document for the recipient to avail ITC, because if the purchaser don't have any invoice from the supplier, he will not be able to collect input tax credit. Okay, so and the second point is the registered person cannot avail ITC unless he is in possession of tax invoice or a debit note. सो एक कोई भी रजिस्टर्ड पर्सन अगर उसे ITC अवेल करना है तो उसके पास टैक्स इनवॉइस होना ज़रूरी है। ओके, सो थर्ड पॉइंट इज GST इज चार्जेबल एट द टाइम ऑफ सप्लाई एंड इनवॉइस इज एन इम्पॉर्टेंट इंडिकेटर ऑफ टाइम ऑफ सप्लाई। ओके, नाउ come over the next point, which is no tax invoice required to be issued, which I have discussed above, that what are the conditions hereby where you not need to issue invoice or bill of supply. So invoice or a bill of supply need not to be issued if the value of supply is less than 200, subject to specified conditions. अब इसमें आपके कंडीशंस क्या है, वही सबसेक्शन 3 ऑफ सेक्शन 31 के हिसाब से, अ रजिस्टर्ड पर्सन मे नॉट टू इशू अ टैक्स इनवॉइस फर्स्ट वेयर द वैल्यू ऑफ गुड्स और सर्विस और बोथ सप्लाइड लेस देन 200, वेयर द रिसिपिएंट इज अनरजिस्टर्ड and the recipient doesn't require such invoice. Okay, so instead such registered person shall issue a consolidated tax invoice and for such supplies at the close of each day in respect of all such supplies. Here I am discussing a chart regarding consolidated tax invoice. So in case supplier is banking or NBFC, so in that case the consolidated tax invoice may be issued for supply of services made during a month at the end of the month. Okay, in case the supplier is not a banking or NBFCs, okay, and the value of supply in a day is greater than equal to 200, and if the answer is yes, in that case the issue tax invoice for each transaction. In case the value of supply in a day is greater than 200, the answer is no. Then we have to go and know the answer whether the recipient is a registered person, and if there is yes, then issue tax invoice for each transaction, and if the answer is no, then consolidated tax invoice may be issued for supply of goods or services made during the day. Now come over the next topic, which is when should a tax invoice or bill of supply be issued by a registered person. Invoice in case of supply of goods, section 31 subsection 1 of CGST Act 2017. Okay, so if the supply involves movement of goods, and if the answer is yes, so according to section 31 subsection 1 clause A of the CGST Act 2017, invoice issued, if invoice issued before or at the time of removal of goods or supply to the recipient, and if the answer is no, in case supply involves movement of goods, then it will be invoice issued before, at the time of delivery of goods, or while making goods available to the recipient. Now come over the next point. In above I have discussed over the supply involves movement of goods, and now I will discuss the supply of services. So time limit for issuing tax invoice in case supply of services. If the supply is by banking, NBFC or insurer, then invoice shall be issued before or within 45 days from the date of supply of service. Okay, and if the not by banking or NBFC or insurer, the invoice shall be issued before or within 30 days from the date of supply of service. Okay, however, provided further that an insurer or banking company or a financial institution, including NBFC or a telecom operator or any other class of service as may be notified by government or council recommendations, making taxable supply of services between distinct persons, that we have studied in section 25 already under registration chapter. So may issue invoice before, at the time such supplier records the same in books of accounts, or before the expiry of the quarter during which the supply was made. Okay, now we will talk about advance payment. So a registered person shall, on receipt of advance payment with respect to any supply of goods or service, or both, issue a receipt voucher or any other document containing particulars as may be prescribed, evidencing receipt of such payment. मतलब कोई भी अगर कोई एडवांस रिसीव कर रहा है तो उसके अगेंस्ट वो एक रिसीट वाउचर या कोई ऐसी अदर डॉक्यूमेंट इशू करेगा जो उसका एक एविडेंस की तरह काम करेगा. Okay, and these received vouchers and all have the formats prescribed under GST law. So now come over the next topic, that is the contents of tax invoice. In this you will study what are the mandatory fields required in the tax invoice. Okay, so subject to rule 54. Okay, and section 31 read with rule 46 of CGST rule 2017. There is no prescribed for an invoice. However, invoice rules make it mandatory for an invoice to have following fields. Okay, so only applicable fields are need to be filled. मतलब these fields are required in a particular invoice, and you can choose the format for it by yourself. But these are the mandatory requirements which need to be mentioned in a tax invoice. So first is the name, address, GST tin of supplier. GST tin of GST tin I have what is GST tin I have discussed in registration under GST's video, so you can refer that too. So second point will be a consecutive serial number in one or multiple series like hyphen, dash and slash symbolized respectively, and any combination thereof unique for a financial year. You see a serial number when you see a tax invoice. There is a serial number which need to be mentioned on tax invoice. Okay, so third is date of its issue, when it is issued. Okay, and fourth is the name, address and GST tin if registered ऑफ द रिसिपाइंट. एंड आप किसको इनवॉइस इशू कर रहे हो उसका डिटेल भी तो चाहिए, नेम, एड्रेस एंड GST टिन और UIN. ओके, UIN यूनिक आइडेंटिफिकेशन नंबर. ई, अगर इफ रिसिपाइंट इज अनरजिस्टर्ड एंड वैल्यू ऑफ सप्लाई इज 50,000 और मोर. इन दिस देयर इज अ टू कैटेगरी. अगर रिसिपिएंट आपका अनरजिस्टर्ड है एंड वैल्यू ऑफ सप्लाई इज 50,000 और मोर, so name and address of the recipient and address of delivery along with state name annex code. Okay, if there is less than 50,000, so unregistered may still request the aforesaid details to be recorded in tax invoice. Now next is HSN code of goods or accounting code of services. मतलब there are codes prescribed in the law for particular goods and services, so they need to be mentioned in which the supplier or anyone who issues invoice need to mention their code of goods in which they are dealing. Okay, so next is description of goods or services. So in which goods they are dealing, they need to mention in a tax invoice. Quantity in case of goods and unit or unique quantity code thereof. A quantity need to be mentioned of goods they are issuing through tax invoice. Okay, so next is total value of supply of goods or services, or both of course. You need to mention the value, total value of supply of goods or services you are issuing through tax invoice. So next is the total value of goods or services, or both, taking into account discount if any. If there's any discount, you need to also mention that in your invoice. Okay, then the rate of tax, that is a CGST, SGST, IGST, UTGST or cess. Now what is CGST, SGST, ITGST, UTGST? I have discussed in the first video, which was basics and introduction to GST. Okay, so CGST stands for Central Goods and Service Tax, State Goods and Service Tax, Integrated Goods and Service Tax, and Union Territory Goods and Service Tax or cess, an amount of tax charge the need to mention on a invoice. So what is the place of supply along with name of state in case of a supply in the course of interstate trade or commerce. Of course, if the state is the same, you need not to mention the state. Matlab, if a registered person who is supplying the goods or service is of Delhi and he is supplying in the same state, so he need not to mention the place of supply. So but in case of interstate trade, matlab if the state is outside Delhi, so they need to mention the place of supply. As we know that the GST is destination based tax, so accordingly the tax will be levied. Okay, next is the address of delivery, where the same is different from the place of supply. This sometimes happen, and that is the process which called the bill to ship to model, and where the bill is when the bill is in name of different recipient and the ship to address is different and bill to address is different. So in case agar ship to address is different, so you need to mention that address in the invoice. Okay, so whether next point is whether the tax is payable on reverse charge. Of course, if the there's you can mention here the reverse charge, and either yes or no you can show like that in invoice. And last is signature or digital signature of supplier, matlab you can manually sign the same, and you can affix DSC of supplier or his authorized representative, whatever can be. So these are the important and mandatory requirements which are to be filled in a tax invoice. Now, with effect from 1st February 19, provided that the signature or DSC of supplier or his authorized representative shall not be required in case of issuance of ticket in accordance with the provisions of Information Technology Act. ओके 2000, मतलब ये आपकी नोटिफिकेशन आई थी विद इफेक्ट ऑफ 1 फरवरी 19 से विद इफेक्ट हुई थी, ठीक है। अगर वो सिग्नेचर और DSC सप्लायर ऑथराइज रिप्रेजेंटेटिव का नहीं चाहिए होगा इन केस ऑफ इशुएंस ऑफ टिकट इन अकॉर्डेंस विद द प्रोविजंस ऑफ IT एक्ट 2000, वाइड नोटिफिकेशन नंबर 74/2018, CT dated 31st December 18. If the signature DSC of the supplier and his authorized representative shall not be required on electronic tax invoice, electronic bill of supply, electronic consolidated tax invoice in case of banking companies, and for the electronic ticket for passenger transport service. Okay, in this the signature DSC of supplier shall not be required. Okay, so I am ending the video with this topic of contents of tax invoice. So I hope आपको वीडियो अच्छा लगा होगा, and if you like the video you can like the same, share the same and subscribe the same. Thank you.